Greetings from chess.com. I am back to cover a very exciting game between Biswa and Samay Raina. There were a lot of interesting moments in this game, and this game is especially important to me because he played the Smith-Morra Gambit. Yes, Biswa played the Smith-Morra Gambit that I had covered on this YouTube channel. So I'm also going to take you through his game and probably give you a hint about what could be the possible inspiration behind a fascinating move that Biswa played in this game. Alright, so first I'm going to show you the idea and then I'm going to come to the game of Biswa. So after e4, c5, d4, cd4, c3, dc3, knight c3, this is the Morra Gambit area, and after knight c6 or let's say e6, we go into the same zone. Black can transpose to that position by different move orders, and after e6, the main game is knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, a6, castles, knight g e7, white develops bishop to g5, f6, bishop e3, knight g6. Now, when I was 14, this was the traditional theory, and I used to read this from the nuns chess openings and the ECOs during that time. But Mark Esserman infused some new energy into this line after he played an exciting novelty against Van Velde, and he wrote a book on this opening later. For more details, you can definitely watch my video that I did featuring some traps. So the game that I was talking about comes after bishop b3, b5, and now knight to d5. So this knight sacrifice, this knight jump is not for immediate gain. It's a long-term sacrifice. Like you give a knight, but then you are ensured of some long-term activity for all your pieces, considering the fact that the black king on e8 will take a long time to castle. Now after knight d5, white is actually threatening bishop b6, so this position black has to go rook b8. But in the game, Van Velde took the knight just like how Samay Raina captured the knight, and after e d5, knight e5, d6, now you see the relation. My hunch is that Biswa had seen this particular game, which inspired him to play the amazing knight d5. So after bishop b7, knight e5, f e5, f4, queen f6, f e5, queen e5, bishop g5, you see a position very similar to the one we will see in the game that I'm going to cover, that is Samay Raina's game against Biswa. Now rook e1, and this king is in the center, the e7 square is very bad, so is f7. All these are very common nuances in a Morra Gambit where you give up a knight with knight d5. And after bishop e7 in that game, bishop f7 happened, and then d e7, then queen d2, and then the rooks also are connected. That means more threats are incoming. After king c8, rook c1 check, knight c6, rook fd1, queen f5, bishop f4. Now the threat is queen d6, mating threat, and after queen xf7 he goes queen d6, and then comes rook into c6 followed by queen c6. And in this position Van Velde resigned because bg5 is coming, you can't play rook c8. I have covered this game in great detail in that video, which I would definitely recommend you to watch. So that video also gives you a basic repertoire on how to play the Morra Gambit. Now let's go to the game of Biswa versus Samay Raina. So Biswa was white, and I was very happy, personally very excited to see Biswa employing the Smith-Morra. After dc3, knight c3, knight c6, bishop c4. I must also mention that Anirban Das Gupta had also played the Morra Gambit against Samay Raina, which I covered in the chess terms video that I did today. And after e6, knight f3, a6, castles, b5, bishop b3, knight e7 is what I was expecting Samay to play if he had if you were in touch with the modern day theory, but he played bishop b7. In this position, white played knight d5. So here black can actually kind of combat this idea with knight a5. Don't touch the knight. It's a Trojan horse, I would say. We should not touch this knight, and black should just play knight a5. But he did not, and the Morra magic happened after e d5. The pawn on e4 goes to d5, allowing this open file for the rook, and after knight c e7 he got d6. Now the bishop has opened its range and is completely focused on f7. And in this position, Samay made a wise choice not to think about the piece anymore and give it up. This is a kind of strategy usually employed when you are ahead in material. The good thing about being ahead in material is that you can give it back. And in this position after knight f6, I really liked the fact that d7 was not played, because then you are actually playing for a smaller gain. When you have played such a big gambit, that is, sacrifice the piece, you should definitely think big and go for higher gains. And in this position, rook e1 is doing exactly that. Even knight g5 is correct, and even knight e5. So amazing play by Biswa. He played knight g5, and after knight e d5 he played rook e1 check, and after bishop e7 Biswa played rook takes e7. This is a kind of situation in which there are many winning moves, and as a chess player I can very well relate to this feeling of having reached a winning position, but there are so many moves. So it's a problem of plenty, but it's a good problem to have. I mean, it's better to be in a winning position than in a worse position in that way. So through this game, I also feel that these comedians are also having their taste of how exactly it is to play a pressure game. So they are able to experience these emotions that we chess players usually experience in plenty. Here this is a winning position, and Biswa took his time here because there are different ways to play this position. One could be simply playing queen d3, one could be d e7, another is rook e7, and then it doesn't stop there, because after rook e7 the position is calling for more, and then after knight takes e7 you again have options. You have d e7, bishop f7, knight f7. So this is what took a lot of time for Biswa, and it's pretty normal when you have such a winning position. But if you ever get such a situation, there is one advice that I read in a book, that if you see one win that feels like you will have a lot of initiative, you should go for it rather than comparing a lot, especially in time controls where you have very less time. So if you see that bishop f7 is winning, go for it. If you see knight f7, you must go for it. But when you are comparing, calculate every line as if you are visiting it for the last time. This is something that I heard could work for some players, may not work for some. But in this position, Biswa played knight takes f7, which is the strongest move. So it is great that he took his time, because he ultimately found a very nice continuation. After queen b6, he took d takes e7. You could actually keep this knight a little longer, because there is queen e1 or queen e2, both are possible, because as they say, what do you do with the pinned piece? You attack the pinned piece even more. But yeah, he went with d e7, and after knight e4 he played queen to f3. Again, this is pretty normal to bring your queen into the game, because it's high time. Black's king is in the center. Black is not able to do anything about it as of now. Another move that one might consider is simply bishop e3, new move, new piece, but he played queen f3, and after king takes e7 he took knight h8, rook h8 and queen f7 followed by bishop e3. If you compare the position, KAMP, king's position, definitely white is better. Activity of pieces, white is better. Material could be even, but pawn structure is okay. I think still very much in favor of white. If you do this basic evaluation, it's very clear that white is winning in this position. So I remember during the stream that Sagar made a joke that this white king on g1 is actually living a king-size life, is very much happy with comforts, whereas this black king is very hungry and is trying to find food. Alright, so after queen c6, in this position there is a queen bishop battery. I am mentioning this for the second time today. The other game also, Samay Raina had this queen bishop battery lined up. And here after rook d1, knight g5, that was a blunder because it just drops a piece. And after bishop g5, king c8, you see that there was a connection between this game and the game I showed of Mark Esserman, where there also the king was on c8. Here Samay was in danger, and Biswa would have finished the game with rook c1. I think this was a move that it's like pin and win. You pin the queen and you win it. But he did not. He played bishop d5, and the game was prolonged, but for good reasons for Samay, as he went on to win the game. So let's look at how he was able to turn the tables. After queen g7, the only factor that played out, I think, is that when Biswa was down to less than a minute, he was not able to play that accurately, which is understandable. I mean, even the best of us, it's very difficult to find um, good ideas in time trouble. After queen c3, bishop f4, queen f3, again, Samay set a trap here with rook e4 and d5. Of course, you can't take queen d5 because of queen d5, rook e1, which is again something which we can notice. Samay Raina is setting up traps. He knows how important it is to set a trap when you are in a desperate situation. And after f3, rook takes f4 happened. So that was again a blunder. Bishop g3, h3, king h2 would have been a winning idea because d5 will eventually fall, but he went f3 after rook f4. The queens got exchanged. White is still better because the pawns are more, but he eventually gave up this pawn on b2, which became quite dangerous. And here, there's a famous Agad-Meter acronym, that rook behind passed pawn RBPP, which white should have done. Like after king g3, at least go rook d5 and rook a5, and this pawn on a4 will never become a queen. But he gave up the pawn, and then this black king on 8, which looks very innocent at this moment, suddenly came into the game and created havoc, and was able to give black a very, let's say, very crucial point. So once this pawn was dropped, then it became quite easy. I think the last critical moment where the game was still very much in control was in this position after king g7, rook check. I think he had to go either king f7 or king f8 to maintain this control. And if king f7, then let's say if black plays king c5, white can play king e7 and threaten to promote, and that counterplay ensures that he has enough for a draw. But after king g7, rook checking h6, this king on h6 is cornered, and after king e6, black wins this pawn and then simply comes to attack the rook, and then it is Samay Raina's game. So that was a very exciting game, guys. I think we all could learn a lot from this. I really am impressed with how serious Biswa has taken this event, because he had prepared something very deep. This knight d5 is an idea which is common among those who play Smith-Morra, but a comedian who is completely from a different field, he comes, learns chess, and then comes up with these ideas. This is stellar, I would say. So congratulations, Biswa. Though you have not won the game, you have won a lot of hearts, and I'm sure the day will come where you will win a lot of games. Don't worry about it. And Samay Raina, good comeback. Wishing you all the best. And chess fans, I hope you liked my coverage of this game. And if you're interested in learning more about Smith-Morra, definitely watch my video. I'll be back with another video soon. Do like the video and do subscribe to our channel. Take care. Bye bye.